כך המטרה העיקרית של לורי קרדוזה מור היא כאמור לקבוע בחקיקה כי ה-BDS נגוע באנטישמיות, כפי שאמרה לנו כאן באולפן זה השבוע.
One of the problems that we see in the United States, and we know it's not just relegated to the U.S., but we're seeing a rise of anti-Semitic attacks on our college campuses.
Yes.
We see it in California, in New York, and in Florida.
What do you see?
We see a rise of attacks against Jewish students and now even Christian Zionist students.
Physical attacks or verbal attacks?
Verbal, physical attacks that are happening. We're seeing speakers who come to campuses who are shouted down. We see eviction notices put on the dormitory doors of Jewish students on college campuses. We see apartheid walls erected and babies with blood splattered on them that are all over the college campuses. And what they're trying to do is to create this Israel apartheid perspective or belief system within the students on college campuses.
How effective is your struggle against this phenomena?
Well, we've actually had tremendous success. I'm from Tennessee, and in Tennessee, we introduced a resolution to expose the Students for Justice in Palestine group, who are really leading a lot of this antagonism on our college campuses. So we launched this resolution, we passed it in both houses. It was a bipartisan effort. We didn't even get the resolution finished. Indiana, the state of Indiana passed the legislation.
Other states?
Other states. We have Pennsylvania, New York. We also have a total of 39 other states who will be introducing this resolution in their state legislatures come January. Now, it's not just limited to the United States, because of our media reach, we broadcast this information around the globe. We now have 8 countries who have expressed interest in introducing the resolution in their parliaments.
You know that Israel is being demonized all across the world.
Yes.
How do you assess the Israeli reaction, response?
The official Israeli response has been one of frustration, but this year we've seen the Israeli government even take up this issue. They realize that this is important for Israel, for the future of Israel, both economically but also with regards to the rise of anti-Semitism, because these attacks are fueling this anti-Semitism that we're seeing around the world.
But, you know, we are very often hearing the assumptions that the settlements beyond the Green Line, this is the main obstacle for Israeli information policy across the world. What is your opinion?
Our opinion is, because we are a Christian organization, our mission again is to remind people of the biblical stake that Israel has in this land. We produced a documentary called Israel Indivisible, The Case for the Ancient Homeland 2 years ago. That documentary has been broadcast in over 200 countries, again reaching over 900 million homes. It is the definitive film that makes the case historically, archaeologically, legally, and biblically as to why Israel has rights to the land. I had interviewed a Greek Orthodox priest during one of our trips here to Israel.
In Israel?
Here in Israel, in Nazareth. And I found it interesting because we hear 2 different stories. We hear the Christians in Bethlehem who say that they're being oppressed by the Israelis. Then you have the Christians who live in Nazareth. Now, the Christians in Bethlehem are living under the Palestinian Authority. We know that 80% of the Christians have fled Bethlehem. Then we move to Nazareth. Nazareth is under the leadership of the Israeli government. They are protected. The Christian community in Nazareth is prospering. It's flourishing. Why are there 2 different narratives coming out of Israel from 2 primarily Christian, predominantly Christian communities? Why do we hear one about Bethlehem of oppression, but we hear one of prosperity from Nazareth? The story that we hear on the nightly news is not the story.
In America?
In America, in Europe, around the world, is not the narrative that we have found through these interviews.
Are they biased?
Absolutely. Absolutely biased.
Do you support the position of Mr. Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, the position which says the solution is a two-state solution? What is your opinion?
My opinion is I don't speak to the leadership of what they feel they have to do in order to protect the Israeli people. My message is strictly for a Christian audience to make sure that we uphold, and our government, whether it's the United States of America, whether it's Australia, South Africa, European governments, we have to protect what God has protected throughout the centuries. That's our mission as an organization, to remind Christians what their responsibility is. And as Christians, as we protect the state of Israel, we are protecting Christians in the Middle East.
What is your response to my question, with all due respect?
With all due respect, again, I'm going to have to tell you, I'm going to have to leave that to the Prime Minister. He knows the details better than I do.